Hi, this is Eric Blum, president of Oak Valley College. I'm here with our show Business Week. Thank you for joining us. And I've got Gene Valdez with us, our professor and the loan doctor. So Gene teaches entrepreneurship for us. We're excited to have Gene here to talk a little bit about finance and entrepreneurship. So thank you very much, Gene, for joining us.
My pleasure, Eric. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So start off, I know you call yourself the loan doctor. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for companies.
Well, Eric, I was in the last 30 years, I've been either a banker or a business finance coach. So this is my second time into entrepreneurship where I own my own company now called the Loan Doctor. But about 25 of my years, I was in commercial banking, actually making loans to small companies. And so I stopped doing that about 2 years ago. I have my own company now. And I call it the Loan Doctor because I think that's my strategy to approach clients is sort of like what a doctor does. I sort of take their pulse.
Diagnose the problems that they've got.
I diagnose the problem.
Yeah.
I try and come up with a remedy, and the remedy could be consulting, could be finding them a loan, could be helping them with a business plan. And then I monitor the remedy when they do fiscal checkups to see if my medicine in the form of a remedy actually worked. And if it didn't work, then I need to come up with something else. And so I really view myself as sort of a business doctor.
Business doctor.
And so I came up with the name, the Loan Doctor.
Cool. So many people don't realize how challenging it is for a small business to get started. I know it is. It's extremely challenging. So tell us a little bit about what the major challenges are to get underway. And I know most of that is related, oftentimes is capital related, finance related, right? Yeah.
Well, before I answer that, the SBA has done, the Small Business Administration has done a lot of research, and the mortality rate for companies in their first 5 years is upwards to 60 to 65%.
And that's not just having a good idea and just sitting on it at home. That's actually trying to execute it and spending some money and giving up your day job to do these things. Yeah.
So the cemetery are littered with bodies of businesses that didn't make it their first 5 years. So that just reinforces your comment that it's really difficult to not only start a business, but to sustain it. And typically what happens, Eric, is on the front end, is there isn't enough planning to actually determine and give evidence that there's actually a market or a need for whatever that business is doing. So many times these entrepreneurs, they let their ego get in the way and they think that they have a pulse on the market. They think what is needed rather than actually confirming that that's what the prospects or customers want. So that's number one, is that there isn't really an opportunity, because you can work really hard, but if there isn't really an opportunity, you're hitting your head against the wall. So that is probably one of the number one reasons, is isolating a real need. And then the second, I'm a little bit biased, is in the financial management area, where you actually have to access the capital to start the business and then manage the business financially so it stays stable.
Okay. So can you give us an example of what you see as the most common situation or challenge that a small business owner typically comes across when they're trying to finance their startup or in their first stages? By the time you see them that they've got the cancer or whatever it is, the diagnosis, and what does that look like to you when you're...
Probably the most common thing is that, and a lot of it is perpetuated by the media, that there is available capital for startup companies in institutionals.
So like George Foreman saying, the invent doctor will help you, with your invention and help you turn that into a business. That's really naive to think that, that just calling an 800 number will instantly